We came into this hike with lofty goals. Goals of hiking across Vermont, from Canada all the way to Massachusetts, 270-something miles. This is something that certainly both of us can do. But when faced with a bit of a time crunch due to some flights, it definitely became stressful. It was harder to enjoy the trail when we were trying to push ourselves to make our flight back home. So somewhere around the middle, we decided that we would just hike as far as we could hike in the time amount that we had, and we would enjoy it. We would enjoy it to the best of our abilities. Both Lotus and I have hiked the Appalachian Trail before. And fortunately, the Long Trail shares about 100 miles with the Appalachian Trail. So we knew, so long as we could make it to that trail junction where those two hikes meet, then at the very least, we knew we had seen the entire thing. This year, I've hiked 800 miles around Arizona. I hiked 170 or so miles around Lake Tahoe. And now, here we are, out in Vermont, hiking through the Green Mountains. A very special place. Both for its treachery, the rocks and roots, and strange weather patterns that you have to deal with every day. But also for the beauty of the green tunnel, the changing of the leaves in the fall. The overall silence that you find out in the woods. Vermont is definitely a place I'd like to return to. And, of course, the surrounding areas as well, the White Mountains of New Hampshire, or the Adirondacks in New York. There's so much to love in this area. I think I can speak for both Lotus and I, and say that we very much have enjoyed our time in Vermont. We hiked over some gnarly mountains. Mount Mansfield, the highest point in Vermont. We hiked over Camel's Hump, I believe the highest undeveloped point in Vermont, both of which were wonderful, wonderful experiences. For Camel's Hump, it started to rain a little bit. The wind was blowing heavily on us. Just everything about it was fantastic. There was only one other person we saw that evening, and I don't think anyone else summited that mountain that day, other than maybe some day hikers. Because every other hiker we saw that evening were staying in shelters, waiting out the wind and waiting out the rain, in hopes that tomorrow would be better. Sometimes it is, but sometimes you just gotta go for it. And I'm happy we went for it. I think both Mount Mansfield and Camel's Hump were two of my most favorite times from the entire trail. I think this hike is maybe a good lesson in some ways. That here I've hiked well over 11,000 miles on long distance trails like this, all sorts of thru hikes across the country. And Lotus has as well. Here we are, two very, very experienced hikers. But also, we were kind of thrown for a little bit of a loop on this one. And I think it's important to, instead of forging on at our planned pace, it was important that we did make that pivot. We changed plans on the fly in hopes that we would enjoy something more. I hope that's something everyone can learn from. You know, that instead of ruining a friendship or a relationship or just adding unnecessary stress, you know, that sure, we weren't able to hike the entire long trail in one continuous through hike, but, you know, instead, we had a great time together. We shared the special trail together. We kept going back and forth about wanting to finish. But in the end, it was good to decide that our relationship was more important than the trail. You know, that me going ahead, speeding up to finish this hike on my own, was not going to be good. That we came out here together, and we were going to enjoy our time together. I think we definitely made the right decision. The decision to stop once we got to the Appalachian Trail. To only hike 170 or so miles of the Long Trail. And finish right around Rutland. And more specifically, at the inn at the Long Trail. As we're approaching the end of the Long Trail, or at least our planned end, it was a bittersweet feeling. You know, to know that we weren't able to do the entire thing. But still, very happy to have spent the time out there, and very happy to not be hiking in the next day where there was nothing forecasted but rain. To explore the city of Rutland a little bit. I certainly pride myself on finishing these trails and oftentimes hiking them fast, so this was definitely a change of pace for me. I think any time in the past that I have tried to hike with friends, things have never quite gone right. And, you know, sometimes I feel like I made a good decision, like this one, and other times I did not. I think this is the first hike I've been on where we were in agreement that we should both slow down together. I think just in general, hiking with a partner, hiking as a group, hiking with friends, it's always going to be a little bit more complicated. You know, as they say, there's more cooks in the kitchen. In 2012, I came out to the Appalachian Trail. I did about the first 400 miles of it. In 2016, I hiked all 2,200 miles of it. And in 2017, I hiked about another 500 miles of it. I've spent a fair amount of time out here. But it's been a while. I haven't been back to the East Coast to hike through these mountains, the Appalachian mountain chain, since 2017. Being out here really reminds me of what made me fall in love with hiking in the first place.
Hey, Lotus.
Yes?
What day is today?
It's our final day. What? Is that not what you want me to say?
No, that's good.
What do you want me to say?
That's exactly what what today is?
Why are you looking at me that way?
I just gave you, I don't know, the look like of approval.
Oh, I thought it was disapproval.
Like you did it. You said the thing.
I'm just your puppet.
She's not my puppet. All right. Today is our final day. Today is our final day on the Long Trail. We are going to finish. Oh, I'm so zoomed in. There we go. We are going to finish where the Long Trail meets the Appalachian Trail. Because we have both done the Appalachian Trail, so we've seen those miles. But also, I think we just set out a little bit too quick of a pace to do this, so we've run out of time. We've run out of time, and now we are redefining what success is, redefining what a win is, and I think in the process having a little bit more fun than we would have if we had just pushed our planned pace every day, every second. So today is our final day on trail, and we are finishing where the Appalachian Trail meets the Long Trail. How's that sound, Lotus?
Sounds good.
What are you excited for?
The whirlpool.
The whirlpool bathtub. The whirlpool bathtub at the Long Trail Inn is what she's excited for. And I'm excited to watch some disc golf on my phone. So that's our plan right now. And then we have a flight. So that's that.
You did it.
You know, once we got to that intersection, it was, I mean, it didn't feel like a letdown. It felt exactly right because, you know, the Appalachian Trail was my first trail love, and you know, every time I'm there, I feel like I'm home. So, you know, even though I didn't get to hike those last 100 miles along the AT, just seeing it and being there was really special. And I know it will always be there. You know, I can always come back and hike the whole thing again, just that section again, the whole Appalachian Trail again. It doesn't really matter. So that's what we did. We hiked 170 miles of the Long Trail. And I guess you could say that we, you know, have technically hiked all of it because we both hiked the Appalachian Trail, but either way, it doesn't really matter. We were out there to enjoy the trail. And I think we did. I know we did.